Add to stage, it says. It says add to stage. Now, bear with me. I am in the process of trying to see how this whole thing works. I just connected Streamlabs is basically what I'm doing because I wanted to do more like stuff with you guys, group calls, things like that. So I went through the process of setting up the whole thing here, and all right, good. So I can hey, Fair, what's up? I'm glad actually, Fair, I'm glad that you said hey because I was sitting here looking at StreamYard trying to figure out where in the hell the comments were at. So yours popped up and it put a little red thing over on the side. And also I'm watching over on YouTube and it looks like YouTube synced over here. So I'm really thrilled with that. That worked out really good. I clicked your name. I didn't mean to click that specifically. Thank you for, I don't know, trying to figure out like how do you put it's like looking at like a brand new system. It says delete comment, which I'm not gonna do, put user in timeout. So kind of a weird way to phrase it. I'm just gonna hit your name again, Fair, as I'm sitting here. Oh, it just highlights the comment. Perfect. All right. Testing, testing. So, what's up, everybody? Kicked it off a couple minutes early to make sure that my settings we're gonna go through correctly. And I'm literally just sitting here doing some testing tonight. I'm in the process of what up, Mom? Hey, PG, what's up? Hey, Amanda, thanks for jumping in. I'm literally in the middle of testing something right now. And by the way, I'm also streaming on Instagram. I've never streamed on Instagram before. In fact, my Instagram world has been, hey, Lane, what's up, man? My average guy, what's up, Chris? New strategy appears to be working, although I'm definitely spending more in the process. And what you may want to do there, Chris, is chill on that for a little bit and let what you've done so far, let it work its way through, right, and catch itself up. See what happens there. I typically don't do any social marketing stuff at all. And one of the options within StreamYard was to go live on Instagram. So I think that there's some of my friends and people that know me are going to end up jumping in. I don't know if I can see that my wife's cousin Eric joined, which is interesting for everybody. So anyways, jumped on a couple of minutes early here, and I'm in the process of testing. And Lane, I think you're going to appreciate this one because I know that there were some issues before with the extension in finding like doing the add links to the campaigns, especially if you had like a lot of them. Oh, fair, nice. Get that money or get that. I guess in the other countries it would be get that pound. Are you getting the pounds? Is that what that is? So one of the things I'm in the middle of doing right now is I'm testing a feature that it doesn't do any of the scrolling anymore on your campaigns. It just goes through on the back end and looks for any campaigns you have that doesn't have any content. And then what it's going to do is any, for example, if you end up accepting campaigns for content that you don't actually have on your storefront, it's going to go through a process to automatically create idea lists to house those additional pieces of content. And then it's going to submit that idea list link onto the campaign itself. So the idea here is that if you can't make a video link and fulfill the submission through that route, it's going to instead create the idea link for you, or create the idea list and then create the link and put it onto the campaign. So when I've been testing it, what happens is whenever I get to the end, I've got nothing that is left unsubmitted. It is a completely submitted group of campaigns. Of course, though, nothing ever goes as expected, and sometimes things don't work out the way they're supposed to. And but so far, it looks good. It's actually pretty cool. Sometimes it's those weird ones. It's like there's so much intersecting. And, for one, you're checking to see, does the campaign have content? Two, you're checking to see, okay, if it doesn't have content, we want to take one of the IDs within that campaign. It doesn't really matter which one. We just want to put it into an idea list. If an idea list doesn't exist already, you have to create one. If it does exist, you want to make sure that add it to the one that already exists without making a whole bunch of idea lists. And then you have to make sure that you don't submit more than 400 campaigns or 400 IDs into that idea list, because the idea list can only hold 400 ASINs at a time, and you can only submit 25 at a time. So it's like I'm working on one part of the process, and then on the other hand, like trying to like juggle those like additional pieces of what's going on. Just join. Hoping I can rewatch and at the beginning on the UK CA stuff. So here's what I'll say about that stuff there. One is I had a couple of reports that came in. And by the way, I'm probably going to be on here for about an hour. I got an hour set aside to do this. And thank you guys for joining. It was unannounced. I dropped it in the group, and appreciate you hopping in. Feel free, any questions that you guys got, feel free to drop them over into the chat, whether it's related specifically to the software or if it's just about the program, making money, needing some advice, go for it. Oh no, I just forgot what I was saying. I don't remember what it was. I lost my train of thought there. Oh, the UKCA stuff. So one of the things that somebody mentioned yesterday, that they were seeing all of the stuff come through appropriately, and then all of a sudden they woke up and it wasn't, like the next day. And at this point, I've had this conversation so many times. My first response is typically, what zip code do you currently have set on those other platforms? Because I'd really like everybody to do like a Toronto zip code on the Canada side, and then a London on the UK side. And when she went and checked, she had set it prior. That's why it was working. But whenever she went back and checked after I mentioned it, it had reverted. So like the delivery zip code on the main page of Amazon had reverted to like something that wasn't pulling everything anymore. When she reset it again back to whatever one it was before, then it started working again. So I'm probably going to have to write something into the code to be able to deal with that. So just a heads up, if you're doing UK CA stuff, please make sure to have those zip codes somewhere in there, Toronto for Canada and London for UK, just to make sure you got the best product availability. I didn't really realize that what was happening there. Actually, the other day, somebody said, I'm not seeing very much stuff in the UK, like very, very rare. And she had an Ireland zip code set. And it just so happens that Ireland has some availability, but restricted pretty heavy. So it looked to her on the surface like, man, it's working, but it's not where I'm not getting very much stuff. And that's what was going on. Was as soon as she changed it from the Ireland one to the London one, things started popping through. So if you guys start seeing issues with that at all, with the UK CA stuff not coming through, that's the first thing you need to check is the delivery zip codes, to make sure you've got them in one of those two places, and make sure your settings are selected in the drop downs. Let me keep an eye on the chat here. Thanks for testing StreamYard with me, everybody. This is my first time doing StreamYard. I did it late, so that way I wasn't messing anything up too crazy. So it's just sort of like everybody just having fun, having a good time. So let me kind of keep an eye on here. Just got the CA UK storefront set up. Been almost a week, and I do not see any commissions on either. How can I verify my 2 additional storefronts are live? Well, first, as long as you went through the process of signing up. Did you Impulse? I presume you did the sign up process where you have to, it's like an application, but I think they just kind of shuffle you in if you're already in the US. So you should already have the storefronts. You can go to Amazon. So on the US, it's amazon.com/shop/your shop name. All you got to do is change the front part of that for those other countries and see if those are live. So do amazon.ca/shop/your store name. And then of course put co.uk. That's not, can somebody post that in the chat? So, because I'm not explaining the CA and as long as you see those on there, you should be good to go. There was a really good video that somebody posted. Maybe it was Nicole. I can't remember if Nicole Vincent posted it maybe the other day about signing up for those other places. But the other thing is too, I think expectations need to be maybe tempered a little bit with those other countries. If you listen to the folks that are from the UK and from Canada, one of the things they're talking about is there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of activity on those because there's not a lot of upper carousels and they don't have the creator connections and all that. It's just not the hotbed that the US storefront is. So I think you got to mitigate what you're expecting out of that to a degree. But honestly, if you want to know if it's working, look at the products you've tagged. There should be a lower carousel minimally on those, right? And there's not a lot of competition over there. So just go through a couple of your videos you've made, check the products on those and see kind of where you're at. But it should be, I mean, as long as you got accepted. What I did was create an address for US and UK. Oh, I see. Because you're Canadian. Okay, got it. What zip code should I use? To be honest, I don't have a specific one. I just Googled it. I think if you Google something if you say like London zip code, Google's going to give you like a list of like 10 or 12 of them right there on the front page. And I just picked up whatever the first one was. I didn't pay too much attention. You have to pay attention to the format because like they don't look like US zip codes. And then whenever you punch them into Amazon, it looks like changes the format of it. But as long as it lets you hit the save button, you're fine. I think for the UK, it's like there's 3 digits and then 3 digits. But then whenever you save it on amazon.co.uk, it changes it to like the second one to like 2 digits and it looks kind of weird. But as long as you save it, as long as it lets you save, it should be good. And then it'll say London or it'll say something like that. I do London in UK and I do Toronto in Canada. I was doing Alberta for a little while, something in Alberta, and it worked good, but I just thought like I just should go for the big city just to make sure I got the best possible availability. Hey, beautiful, healthy. Hey, good. Thank you for joining. Signed up. I'm not sure how to set a storefront for Canada. Beautiful. There is somebody posted a video probably about 3 or 4 days ago. If you go back and look in the Facebook group, they walk you through how to set those things up. Pretty easy process. Being a US, having a US storefront, I think that they just kind of automatically put you in. There's no real approval process. I haven't heard of anybody going through a real approval process. It's basically like, hey, thanks for signing up. You're in, because you're just using the same sign-in that you use for the .com. Be curious if anybody has any other information that they've had to go through a process, any sort of approval and wait time, but I have not heard of anything like that. So can you explain the daily deals desire a little bit more and how it helps you make extra money? I see a lot of people excited about it. So I think, Peachy, what you're referring to there is the daily sales, right? So the daily sales, the idea here, so whenever you are, whenever you have a Creator Connections campaign, right? If somebody buys something today, you don't make commission off of that, like just like regular commission, right? So if they watched your video, whatever, they make the purchase today, you don't make money. You make money when that product ships, which is usually, sometimes it's the next day, but a lot of times it's like 2 days and sometimes more. And that's whenever Amazon will go through and do its tallies of like, okay, who do we need to apply credit to for this particular sale? And so by the time that it ships, all that Amazon knows is this needs to be paid out. Who do we pay it to? And they look for the name that's connected to that. So within Creator Connections, as long as you have a campaign that is related to products that are shipping and that are being applied to your account, right? If they're going to be applying that sale or the commission to your account anyways, it doesn't matter that you didn't have the campaign when the product actually sold. So again, if I had it today, if I don't have a campaign for it, that's fine. But as long as I have a campaign accepted prior to whenever it ships, you'll still get that additional credit for that. And so that's why people are happy, excited about that particular feature, is because it shows them what has been selling almost prior to it actually shipping out and gives you an opportunity to earn some extra money on that. Hey, Christina, good to see you. I haven't talked to you for a bit. Good to see you. Let me see. How many English-speaking countries have Amazon storefronts? I've been seeing people talk about it. I've had a couple of people ask about the Australia thing, Chris. To my knowledge, it's not. I mean, even the person that brought up Australia was like, it's not that great. So I don't have too much. I felt like the UK and the CA were like the big ones that I needed to get hammered out. And somebody actually asked about India the other day too. And I have nothing on my roadmap for the other ones until, if those are the two most popular behind the US, I feel like they really need to start cooking and become something of like definite value. Right now, there's a perception of value there, of opportunity, because basically we can build our storefronts easier in those other countries. But I think until those really start to prove that out, I'm probably not gonna spend too much time looking at the other countries yet, right? Unless something comes up and something changes, which I'm open to that too. And by the way, I'm watching Instagram Live. My boy Byron just hopped on. Good to see you, Byron. I don't even know if people can leave comments over there on the Instagram thing, but my first time doing a live for anything not personal on my Instagram page. So how do you get your videos on? Oh yeah, hold on a second. Let me go back. Michelle says, I taught Nicole how to create and use the UK store. Oh, good. Well, then Michelle, you might have some good context for this too. Maybe if you guys happen to come across, maybe bump that thread that I think it was Nicole made the other day about how to get those other storefronts up and running. Beautiful says, how do you get your videos on there? I assume that you're talking about on those other storefronts. One is you have to have the approved, right? So you have to be accepted into the program, which it should be really easy since you're already US. And then the other thing is you just upload them like a regular storefront, like you do your shop one. So you just take the exact same video that you uploaded. Hopefully it's a valid and viable product, which I think that the extension helps find some of those things out for you. And if it is, you just go through the exact same upload process as you do. There's nothing that automatically syncs that content. So there's nothing you're going to do from like the US side where you can click a button and go, okay, it's everywhere. Unfortunately, with the way that the Amazon system works is you have to have a literal file of some sort and send it to them, right? They have to upload it into their system. So you just do the uploads just the exact same way for those other countries through the same process that you do like the US one. Sorry, Desire meant to say daily deals feature. No, I got you, Peachy. All good. There's a good one, Christina. T2 something or another, a couple of good ones in there. And here's the thing with those zip codes too. And by the way, thank you guys for joining. This is really cool. I appreciate you guys. I was bragging about the community the other day, and I think yesterday I made a post just about how glad I am, how much everybody helps each other and stuff. I really appreciate you guys. The thing with the zip codes and why it becomes so important is some zip codes are working, but just have limited availability as far as the products they can get to them. Like I said earlier, the person that had the Ireland one that I was talking to was seeing some stuff come in, but it wasn't very much. And they're like, Jesus, there's not, like, it seems like UK has nothing. And it just turned out that Ireland just didn't have as much availability. So continuing to try to keep an eye on the zip codes that you have tagged for a centralized location in each country. Again, for me, Toronto in Canada, London in the UK. And what I would probably do, and this has really come up more in the last probably 24 hours it happened to me today, where my delivery zip code on the Canada side got wiped out on the front page. So I think that it's probably a good idea to set an actual delivery address on those other platforms, like on your profile settings, to avoid the main page one getting wiped out, because you wouldn't even know it if it got wiped out unless you intentionally went and looked, unless you were just like, something feels off. And then you went and looked. So that happened to me today. And I was just like, oh, weird. It's on this other one that I don't remember ever setting. So you probably should go ahead and in those other countries, set a delivery address for whatever. Like, I mean, somebody today said that they put one for, what was it? It wasn't Buckingham Palace, but it was something kind of similar to that. Maybe it was in Toronto that was like kind of a similar thing. I thought that'd be funny. Then, like, if you put Buckingham Palace and you accidentally ordered something, and then like a delivery would show up at Buckingham Palace, and they're like, oh, here's the nose strips for Fizz. Those soldiers would not be super interested in that. Chris says, I'm finding that I typically only make about half of what the Oink calculator estimates. Should I just have are you saying, Chris, on the calculator? So here's kind of the thing with the calculator. One is it's trying to use what's happened in the past to predict what's going to happen with it going forward, right? That's really good feedback for me. Should I just typically make about half of what the Oink calculator estimates? I'll take that and I'll put that over here to the side and take a look at that. It might just be that calculator uses a series of like 3 different data sets that I ran to try to come up with those numbers. As I continue to add more data sets in there, 3 data sets is a pretty small sample size overall. So the more data that I have, it's probably time for me to do an update for once. I appreciate you saying that. It's kind of an interesting thing because, you're trying to make a prediction off of, even though there's no guarantee that what's been happening is going to continue to happen, it's trying to give some sort of an indication of like of reasonable expectations of that. But if you're seeing pretty typically like half of that, that's a little bit outside of the scope of what I'd want to see probably. So I'll definitely take a look at that. Samaru, should we run the daily sales feature for Pro every day, or is there a way for the, so there's not a way for the extension to do that automatically. There might be a way. So for me, I do it like twice a day manually because I'm probably sitting there anyways, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of time. I did kick around the idea of trying to do like some sort of like an automation macro, something along those lines. But to be honest, the only real danger there of not automating it is skipping a day, right? If you forget about it for some reason, and maybe this is my narrow-mindedness, but for me, it's really hard to imagine skipping a day because I feel like I'm sitting here all the time. Like I'm always kind of at the computer. If it gets to the point where people are saying that, hey, my life does not allow me sort of that time allotment to be able to do that at least like once a day, then I'll look into that some more. But right now, I don't have anything built into the extension that does it automatically. I have 3 plugs, but 3 plugs. Well, I appreciate that. I'm just trying to make an extension that, I'm an Amazon influencer at my core, I feel like that I am one of you and vice versa. And I feel like I'm trying to build things that move my needle. Right. And hopefully by doing so, then other people will, feel similarly that it's things that matter. It's really easy. There's been different tools that I've used in the past for not this stuff, but for blogging and some stuff like that you'd sometimes get a tool and it's got so much stuff in it. At first, you're just like, gosh, this thing must be powerful. But then you realize that sometimes those things end up being fluff. There was a tool that I used several years ago for like SEO stuff. And at first I was just like, man, there's so many cool things in here. And then I upgraded to like the Pro because then I thought like there's got to be even more behind there. And ultimately what I found is I only used a couple of the features within it overall, even though it was a very small percentage. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to be really smart about including things that actually lead towards the potential of making more commissions in the program, not just stuff for the sake of having stuff in it, right? And plus, the more stuff you put in it, the harder it is to try to navigate around. Like, you try to build, then you have to add a new feature in. It becomes crowded. Like the space becomes sort of crowded within the extension. And so I want to just put stuff in there that really kind of matters. But I appreciate you very much saying that. I'm gonna go down here. Hey, Doug and Nikki, I haven't seen you all for a while. Good to see you in here. Missed you guys. I haven't done any lives hardly in a while though either. Let's see here. Because I'm Canadian, I obviously order mostly from Canada. There's a way to cross-reference those with the campaign. So from the Canada side, there's not any way yet. The next step is going to be that I am going to have storefront fetches for the Canada and the UK side. So then that will allow you to cross-reference into creator connections. Although I don't know why that would... if you're doing it from Canada and those are going into your Canadian sales, those wouldn't get picked up in creator connections unless my brain is frying here and I'm not. Hey, Nick, what's up, man? Unless my brain's not working correctly and I'm not quite getting what you're saying. But anyways, I am working on a fetch. But primarily its purpose is going to be that then what it's going to allow you to do is going to collect all of your product IDs and you're going to be able to cross-reference them with your current US storefront, because now it has all those buttons on it that says CA and UK. It's going to change the color of those so you'll know which ones you have. Hey, you can comment. Somebody, thank you for commenting on the Instagram live there, Nick. Nobody had commented yet. I had never done the live, so I appreciate you doing that. So now I know that you're watching and you can hear me just fine, Nick. Just let me know if you would in the comments. Appreciate that. So it's going to be my brain never works correctly either. I know. Neither do your calves. Hey, my guy Mandar just joined too on Instagram. It's an Instagram party. So that's what it's going to be primarily for. It's going to be like the cross storefront reference. So you can do that. But I mean, if Creator Connections ends up coming as expected to CA and all right, cool. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that, man. To UK side and Canada side, I mean, stuff's gonna go nuts. Like that's gonna be pretty good. ARP, hey, good to see you. All glory and honor to the Most High God, and also to Rob for being king of Amazon influencer automation. You're a genius, sir. No, I appreciate that. You know what? I'm just gonna take the compliment, taking the W on that one. You know what? I'm going to refute the genius part of this slightly. I'm just one of you guys. I feel like at the core, I'm just, hey, Mandar, miss you, my man. My buddy Mandar. I'm just trying to build something that like resonates with you guys, and I was building a lot of these tools before I ever told anybody that I was building these tools, just was building them for myself. And, it was stuff that I was just like, I think that if I do this, or this, that it can either make me more efficient or it can make me more money. It was just how it was going. And so that's what I'm trying to put into the thing. So I'm thinking in terms of being like what matters from an Amazon influencer standpoint. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Adventures with the Lomans. This must be one of the Lomans or more than one Loman. Hey, I'm brand new. I have a question about when I go to Creator Connection check, then check order history, then it pulls items up. What do I need to do to accept each of those items? I click a star. I'm trying to think of where there's a star. Somebody help me out. And can anybody picture what this individual or multi-Loman is referring to whenever we're talking about the star? So you're in a Creator Connections, then you check the order history, then it pulls items, which is, I presume, the thing at the end, the final results list. What do I need to do to accept each of those items? I click a star. Let me see if anybody's got anything in the comments on this. Loman, I want to see if somebody else answer this because I'm not 100% sure what it is that you're referring to there as far as the star goes, or if you can clarify it just a little bit. It sounds like you're talking about on the final results overlay. I don't remember a star being there, but maybe I'm missing something. It's also 10:30 at night. I can't tell you guys how much that I miss my buddy Mandar. I miss Mandar. I find ASINs transfer nicely. What does that say here? To Canada, but they don't work right for the other geos. UK, are you referring to UK there? You're not do you mean that from an availability standpoint, Doug and Nikki? Probably Doug, I'm guessing. Are you saying that there's just not as much availability there in those other countries? Because that is true. I was just trying to figure this out, and so I'm glad you are doing this. And you know what, Loman, if nothing else, feel free to send me an email. You can send an email, help@oinkforinfluencers.com. And if I don't get it answered here, I want to make sure to get you squared away. So if we don't, hey, Todd, what's up, my man? So if for some reason that we don't get your question answered here, I'll make sure to answer it over on the side. So I want to make sure you're getting those commissions and do what you need to do there. Community's awesome. Loving how, hey, you know what? I brag on this community a lot on, we have now over like 1,200 people in the Facebook group, I think about the same here on YouTube. The extension has almost like 1,200 users to it. I mean, it's all kind of about equaling out. And one of the things I put on the original Facebook like the terms was like, don't put people down. Don't be rude. Don't kind of whatever. And I put an FAFO, I think, on there too. Like it's, and one of the things I think is really good about the group too is, I want it to stay conversation based. I don't allow sellers to post their products in there on purpose. I like having people talking about what the thing is that we're doing. Right. And I haven't seen anybody say, use the search bar. And I appreciate that so much. If somebody has a question about something, sometimes I've always kind of had this theory that like smart people are going to figure the answer out anyways. And I'd like to be the person that helps them to get there. Like karma is a thing. And if they can't figure it out on their own, then I want to help them because karma is a thing, right? Being a nice person is a thing. Everyone watching on YouTube, smash that. Hey, thank you, Doug. I forgot to do the smash that like button. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see like what's going on over on YouTube. I'm going to assume that there's like 30 smashed like buttons on there. Thank you very much, Doug, for the reminder on that. I forgot. The issues I have is many cheaters stealing my videos. I spent an hour a day going over my best sellers and taking cheaters down. Hey, Ryan, my man, Ryan. See, in this, I debated on of streaming this over to Instagram because I don't use anything on Instagram for anything other than like personal stuff. I should start doing it since I have this thing, since I now own a thing or made a thing. And so my buddies are on here doing goofs. He said, what are you doing? Writing a note. Oh, found me on IG. Hey, perfect. I was trying to hide. The thing with the cheaters. So here, one of two things. I'm going to try to improve the thing in the extension to help you track those down a little bit easier. Right now, scanning all of those takes a long time to try to compare your video timestamps to this brand video timestamps, etc. And I know that sometimes other influencers will steal too, but not as much as the brand stuff. It's a fine line because on one hand, I want to be moving forward and not worrying too much about the stuff that's happened in the past, right? I mean, you'll never be able to get totally in front of that unless Amazon decides to take some sort of action on it, which maybe they will at some point. But at the same time, I don't necessarily love fees. You know, wanting you effed around, and it's the find out part. It's hard to. The other thing I'll say about that too on what's on sale is I made a video not long ago on YouTube, if you happen to go back and watch it, about how sometimes I'm catching the people that have stolen the videos and I'm not reporting them under certain circumstances. I highly recommend going and watch that. Lane, I see you over on the IG too. You caught me. I'm over on IG. And so you might want to go and watch that because there are some situations where I actually leave them alone. Not because I appreciate that they've stolen my video, but because of the context around like the carousel setup and things. So I see you, Lane. Lane's gonna have me on every channel at some point. Lane's gonna get sick of seeing me and hearing me. Let's see here. I have family 2 weeks ago. So stoked you're here. I appreciate that. Hey, Dirt Road Mom, I very much appreciate that. Like I said, I'm just trying to do stuff that moves the needle for other influencers, you know, and I'm an influencer before I am a software maker or extension maker or whatever, you know. That's just trying to do stuff, you know. And honestly, one of my favorite things is like people are like, hey, I got this many new campaigns, or my commissions are up kind of this much right now or whatever. Like I love that stuff. Christina says, I know from experience that sometimes ASIN is not the same on CA that it is. Yeah, so that is true also, Christina. The system is currently set up. The system is currently set up to do simple ASIN matches. If you are going, there's really no way to track if that same product has been moved to another ID, or at least I haven't figured it out yet. This was sort of like my V1 to start here. There's certainly some things that are going to fall in the cracks. I'm just laughing. My buddy Ryan's he's going off on Instagram. Some other products are definitely going to not make it onto this list. But, you know, I think for me, it's probably my guess, and Christina, you might be able to tell me different. It's probably 80% of them have the same ASIN and 20% don't, maybe even higher number than that. I'd be curious what your sort of metrics, like estimated metrics. I won't hold you to any of it. Clicks that create smiles. What's up? Hey, good evening. And hey, look, this was a last minute thing. Thank you guys all for jumping in here. Really appreciate you doing this. Setting delivery address. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna have to do, because I don't want to risk it getting undone again without me being able to. You know, it's hard because all you're doing, you're looking at your storefront and you're just expecting things to load. You're not always thinking like, I should check the settings every time. And yeah. Chris, do you think it's worth it to do product research for CA? I noticed when they have, I'm not doing anything yet as far as product research on that side until it starts booming, right? Because for me, one, I got so many videos I need to catch up on. I mentioned this on my release video that I'm going to have to spend time probably the next month just going through and syncing those others and just putting those videos on there. As long as it's available for sale, I'm putting it on there. I'm not doing hardly anything else other than that for now. Once I kind of get out of the clear there, and maybe we sort of as a community have a good sense of like the value impact there, then maybe we can look at doing something like that. It's for me, it's tough right now. My friend Ryan is giving me grief about the size of my microphone boom. He's right. It's huge. I mean, it's like I don't know where else to put it. I could do like a low profile here. Sorry if that's loud. That looks that looks okay. All right. Thank you, Ryan, for looking out. Let's see here. I'm going down through the list. Let's see. When I check order history, it pulls up a list of items with letters and numbers. I can click on them and see the item. What do I need to do next to accept them? So what it sounds like is during your, well, first, what I'd probably do honestly is it sounds like during your creator connections check, you're not enabling the auto accept function, right? So whenever you click check, or whenever you first go into creator connections at the top, you do check IDs or whatever. And then that box pops up that says check storefront, check order history, check content gap, check today's sale, whatever this says. There's a box at the top that says auto accept. That will automatically accept the campaigns for you that it finds, right? So you don't have to go back through later and like manually do the pop up and back and forth, back and forth. It's going to find everything for you. On the free version, it gets a little bit buggy because it relies on Amazon to basically update the page. You know, it's punching the ID into the page and then it has to populate the campaign and the extension has to see that. So if Amazon gets a little bit slow, it might miss, but it's still overall reliable for that particular purpose. I would be clicking that. I personally click auto accept every single time. Some people don't because they have like brand deals and stuff that they're doing. I don't have that. Basically for me, if there's a campaign that I have a match for in any way that I can make money for, I'm just going to accept it. So I would recommend Loman, just go ahead, click the auto accept. If not, what you're going to, if you don't do auto accept, you're just going to have to copy each ASIN right in the list that says it's currently available. Then take that over to the new opportunities tab, punch it in there, you know, hit paste, and it's going to pull up the campaign that says it was available, and you can do each one at a time and accept the best campaign. I would say the highest commission available for those. Over on IG, Lane says, is there a way to have that auto accept tick box default as a? I debated on doing that, Lane. And it's still possible that I may end up doing it because I think the majority of people are doing that. I just feel like, because I think that if somebody wants auto accept and they miss it, it's a inconvenience, right? I have to go through and now manually accept stuff. If somebody didn't want it and ran it, that could be a problem for like the relationship with like brands in some form. Like, again, I don't do a lot of brand relationship stuff. That's my only sort of caveat there, is if they intentionally don't want it for some reason, right? And so that's sort of my catch 22 in there. Loman, by the way, if that still doesn't answer your question, please make sure you send me that email, help@oinkforinfluencers.com. Was wondering where we go by with the 3 plugs for, I'm letting it go. I saw the phrasing and I just let it go. Make more bacon. I love the pig references. They crack me up. I have this weird urge to call everybody like little oink butts and stuff. I probably will. I have this. That's why I say let people be able to set it in the. Oh, I see what you're saying, Lane. So they can set it themselves in an overall general default, like in the preferences. That makes sense. I can make that happen. I do like making more bacon. That sounds good. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, they don't get picked up. Yep. No CC on CA, but Fluencer Fruit shows products that are in CC USA. Oh yeah, I got you. So you're still seeing the thing at the top that makes sense. Oh, there was that comment. This is my first practice with StreamYard and doing the comment stuff. This is what I was hoping it was going to do the comments. I didn't know that it did. I just kind of signed up for it. And yeah. Sure, so we've been asking, but will you be adding Australia? I'm not sure yet, modern day, because I really kind of want to see these first two, the UK and the Canada, boom first, right? And make sure that the value proposition's there for the work that gets put into those. My understanding is Australia is just not much going on yet as far as sales and product availability and some of that stuff. I'm open to it, but I don't have it on like an immediate roadmap right now, just because I want to make sure that the CA and the UK stuff end up popping first. I just want everybody to know that on Instagram, Lane just says, I like oink butts, and I cannot lie. You other influencers can't deny. Don't worry, Lane. We won't deny your love of the butts. Let's see here. What else we got? Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate this. Is it just me, Clicks says, or do the CA, UK, and AU addresses randomly disappear once in a while? So I think you may have just came in right after this, Clicks. It seems like if you're setting the delivery address on like the main screen up in the top left, then yes, because it happened to me today on CA. I recommend probably just go ahead and setting a default delivery address on the settings. On those others, pick Buckingham Palace, pick whatever. Just don't order anything and have it sent there. But yes, you are absolutely correct that seems to be. I haven't had it happen on UK yet, but I have had it happen on the Canada side. But absolutely. And I might try to put in some sort of a fail safe. I don't know if I can into the extension. Right now I can't, but manually keep an eye on that for sure. What time do you usually run your today sales? Is there a best time to do that? Honestly, Lane, I am flying by the seat of my pants any given day. And it's sort of like, it just depends. Like whatever happens kind of happens. I don't have any sort of set times. I know somebody said that there was like a noon cutoff thing in relation to when certain products would ship and some stuff like that. I don't know. I don't have anything for sure if that's accurate or not. To be honest, I might be making that up now that I say it out loud. But I usually do it once early-ish whenever I wake up-ish, and then one like right before I go to bed for me. So, which sometimes is like 12 or 1 in the morning. Mine reset at 2 in the morning since I'm Central Standard Time. So if I'm going to bed like 2 or 1, I'll just pop it there. And if I miss a couple of sales between like 1 and 2, then it is what it is. Impulse. Quick video theft question. My wife and I both have accounts and have videos stolen. We just ran into another creator who stole my wife's video review. Post them. Don't post them. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, here's the thing is sometimes I give brands like a benefit of the doubt still, where I have like, because I know that sometimes there's a language barrier. And I also know that a lot of you are going, they know, and I know they do know, but I leave room for some wiggle room there. But you know who all knows is really, it's like the influencers. Like the influencers know that's a thing that should not be happening. So I have zero delay. If I see another creator has stolen a video, I have with one hand, I'm sitting here like going like you, whatever. On the other, I am simultaneously filing a report at the exact same time. I got no problem going after another influencer for stealing stuff. They know better than that. That's aggravating too, man. Little Urbanites, what's up? Can you explain the calculator again? You said use a sales data calculator. Yeah. So what it does is, I'm going to try to do this in a nutshell. So I took 3 different sales chunks of data of mine over like the last year and a half. And what I did is I went through and I collected every ID that sold. And then I took each one of those IDs. I figured out how many of those IDs that I personally sold. I figured out how many videos were in the upper carousels at that particular time, or at least estimated time. And then I also figured out how many are selling per month overall. And I did an estimate basically saying, okay, on average, I saw across these however many thousand total ASINs that if there was 3 videos on average across all of them that had 3 videos, I had a capture rate of this. Basically, I had this is the percentage of the overall total that I sold. And so I keep squeezing those numbers together and put them together. It's primarily based off of video saturation count and upper carousel availability. So that's the nutshell version of it. And it's based on just my own personal sales. I'll take these big chunks of it. I've done 3 of them now, and I just keep pushing them together and averaging the numbers out. So typically what you're going to see, especially as the video count goes up and down on the calculator, you're going to see that the numbers at the bottom, predominantly, that's where they're changing at, because it's mostly centered around the video saturation. And it's obviously taking things into account, like how many it's selling per month, but that's not really a variable for me. That's just what's selling. I'm trying to figure out how much of that can we potentially estimate getting. So hopefully that gives you an explanation there. Lomanism, Melissa. All right. Well, you know what? You can tell the other Lomans, they'd be jealous that you caught this. And I presume that there's multiple Lomans. So you can say that you caught the show and the other Lomans did not. Vicky, trying to make AU work, haven't had much success. That's kind of what I've been hearing as well. He Modern Day checks his right before he goes to bed. I'd be curious if anybody does have any information about the whole thing, about something around noon. If anybody knows anything or heard anything about that, something about stuff sometimes ships around noon. I just don't have any proof or evidence that's the case, but it very well could be. It pulls up all the products I have previously purchased. How do I add them to CC? I get a list of items with letters and numbers. Yeah. So Melissa, you're just going to copy each ID one at a time, and you're going to copy it and then paste it over into the new opportunities tab on Creator Connections, right? If you're on Creator Connections, that's the thing, is you have to be on Creator Connections. You do the Creator Connections check order history, let it run its course, and then the final results that gives you all of the IDs and says however much commission it was. Just copy the ID, take it over into Creator Connections, and paste it into the search box, and it'll populate the campaigns, and just pick the one with the highest commission rate. That was that one right there. Doug says, I normally check the other geos when I set up Genius links. I find that, yep, there was a really good video for that too that got put out just like last week about the Genius League, or maybe like 2 weeks ago. What do we do about other influencers chopping and stealing our content? This is what, yeah, I mean, if it's an influencer, I light them up. Like, it's like, I have no patience for another influencer that does it. I file the copyright report and set it in. And by the way, the copyright reports are a little bit slow right now. I got one today and I didn't even remember whenever I submitted it. It must have been probably a week and a half. Usually they were pretty good about like 3 or 4 days of responding to everything. So they're a little bit behind right now. But yeah, for me, I'm hitting the thing at the top of the thing, filling out the PDF form, and sending it in without hesitation whenever it comes to another influencer. And they will take that video down. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do anything about the account. To be honest, I haven't seen enough. It doesn't happen within the creator side enough for me to have any sort of context on what they would do other than just taking it down, and at least in the meantime. So I don't know. Checking my IG, just make sure that Lane's not saying anything about butts anymore. It's butt free over there right now. Stalking you. Oh man, Doug's getting stalked. Let's see. Hey, with DoorDash, shoot me a direct email. Oh, hey, good luck with DoorDash, whatever you're doing. Let me see here. I noted it down on the list, but since Rob makes it so easy, well, I appreciate you saying that. I'm trying. If I can I would feel motivated to keep moving. Fishing, how long have you been doing it? I'd like to hear how long you've been doing it for. How many total videos you got on your storefront? Oh, Star says add to collaboration tracker. No. Collaboration tracker is like, it helps you keep track of products that you're seeing that you're working with sellers and adds them to a list. For sure, send me an email address. I'll walk you through the process. All right. I think you might just be a little bit sideways on where to go. It's help. I'm going to type it down below. Actually, help at. Send me an email with that. All right. Let me see. Modern days. So that's why I do too. But wondering if there is a best time. Oh, I got you. My best time is whenever I can. Like as soon as typically whenever I see it. What's the vibe in the program nowadays, in your opinion, Rob? ARP. I steer clear of the Facebook groups and just kind of do my own thing lately. Have a lot of people petered out. Is it more than ever? First off, I do love the thought of people petering for whatever reason, just because I like the phrasing. To be honest, I'm not in any other groups. I only have our group, and because things are going so well, maybe I might be a little bit jaded. I think that the numbers are looking good. I think that people are continuing to better strategize whenever it comes to what they're doing in the program. People are thinking, I think sometimes in a bigger than maybe like 6 months or a year ago, as far as how the program works. There's enough information floating. That was always kind of the problem. Was it was hard to kind of really know what was going on, because sometimes Amazon either wasn't sure themselves or wasn't real clear in some of their messaging with how to do certain things. And I think that over time that we as a community, not just this group, but influencers in general, have done a pretty good job of learning that. And so new people now that come in, I think, are actually at a better advantage than they were 6 months or a year ago, because we just have a better handle on sort of what the program is now. So other people can chime in differently if they want. This may not be the best group to ask, because people seem to be pretty upbeat about what's going on. But if other people want to chime in, that's kind of where I'm at though, ARP. Did you make a video on how to get started in the UK? Becca, I did. But if you're talking about getting started, actually getting your storefronts, getting approved or getting those set up or whatever, I don't have a setup video for getting those done, but somebody else, I think Nicole had posted one a couple days ago in the Facebook group. If you want to go look at that, I think that it guides you through how to just go through that setup process in order to get those set up. And then once that part's set up, then my video that I posted right around that same time too, that's what you do once you have those storefronts up and running. So it should be there. And if you can't find it, make a post in the group and just make a brand new post and say, hey, I'm trying to find it. Somebody will link you. Your percentage seems about, oh, that's the 80-20. Good. Okay. Your extension updates have made it super fast. And that's the thing, is that the other 20% is just such a blind spot. Maybe I'll be able to come up with something, but I feel like if it's an 80%, especially if you're treating those, for the people in the US, treating UK and Canada as like secondary markets. If I can get 80% of my content over there, I'm thrilled with that. Christina, I am the worst at pumping up my videos. You guys do such a good job. Thank you so much. And because I can't even see it. I can't even see what's happening on YouTube. I just presume there's probably hundreds at this point. They posted. Oh, what did I see? Fish. They posted on Reddit all the time. What did I miss? Fishy. Hey, go back up. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't do the Reddit thing. I went on there one time and tried to help some people, and some people were mean to me. And I was like, okay, that's not my place, probably. Hey, little urbanites, you bet. Thank you for hopping on here. Do I have to cancel my monthly to upgrade to annual? That whole thing really sort of kicked in this month quite a bit, and I've been doing it, trying to handle it sort of manually with people. I need to figure out a way to be able to do that within the extension. If you want to shoot me an email at the email address that I posted down below, the help@Oink for influencers, I'll do it manually until I can figure out a better way to do it. So yeah, basically I'll switch it over for you on the account. There's no new sign up is required. And thank you. Appreciate that. Lomans, you got to just make sure you hit that email address, Lomans, Melissa, right? Hey, Doug and Nikki. Yes, of course. There's me. There's the email address. Just putting it on the screen for people to see. help@oinkforinfluencers.com. Make sure you see that. July 500 plus July 2024. Was there another number there coming? I listened to a Friday live feed at the same time as Doug and Nikki while I do. Oh, nice. I started a little over a year ago. A year ago, and you opened up so much more me. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michelle. We got 10 more minutes here. You guys feel free to drop your last minute questions and things that you got. Doug, I'll get that in a second. Yeah, I appreciate that. It was just for some sort of personal anecdotes. The extension was something that, like I said, I've always been a guy that like builds tools, and it wasn't. I had no expectations that it would turn into like what it has turned into. I released the initial free features, which were the first free creator commission cross check, which is still there, and the calculator, right? And I lost my job in April. I've been there for 7 years. My boy Mandar is still on there, but it was sort of a thing for me where, in order for me to continue to spend time on the extension and try to like maintain it and build it, I had to kind of make some decisions about what my life was going to look like kind of going forward. And so for me, because I was already an Amazon influencer, because I already have that brain kind of, going on, I just figured I'd just kind of lean into it and see if I could make it something. So I appreciate, the support that you guys have given, and frankly, the patience as I build stuff and sometimes put it out and things get a little bit weird for a couple of days after that. But that was my goal. I always felt like that I could make things that matter whenever it comes to the program. And so, comments like that and reports of people that are making, more money than they were before they used it, that's sort of like the proof in the pudding for me. So I appreciate you saying that. Doug, so basically what happened was it was called Amazing Influencers before, but there was this other thing called Amazing Influencers, not in the same world, but it was the same name. And I felt like I wanted to do something that was a little bit more branded, with all of the other sort of tools that are out there. They've got really cool names, and mine, I just kind of felt like was kind of like whatever. So I was sitting around trying to think of like cool names that some, like a Google, like somebody says Google and people could say my name as a thing that they do. And I was going through different names. I actually at one point landed on bonk, and I thought bonk would be hilarious. And somebody go, I got bonked, or whatever the thing was. But somebody's got bonk. That's already a thing that exists for somebody else. I came up with so many stupid names that other people had already thought of stupid names. It's surprising how many dumb names have already been taken. So from bonk, I went to boink. And then all of a sudden I went to Oink, and I was like, but that isn't. And then all of a sudden I was like, well, Oink's kind of like the piggy bank, and Oink's like, we're all working from home, and it just sort of spiraled from there. And all of a sudden I felt like it connected a lot of things together, and like what we are doing. It gave me a cool name to say, which is still weird to me for whenever people go, I use this or on Oink. it's such a strange thing for me to hear. And so that's where it originated from. I just kind of worked my way towards it over time. And modern day, I didn't love it. It's genius. Well, I appreciate that. It still hits me kind of weird sometimes because it's slightly an uncomfortable word to say. It doesn't roll off the tongue necessarily, but it also gave me like a color palette, that set me apart from some of the other brands and some things like that. So that's kind of where, if you're Oink Master General, can I be Darth Snorter or Ham? You're going to kill me with that Ham Solo reference. I want to be this. So the next, okay, so here's what I'm reading through all these. So the next chat is just going to be us coming up with nicknames that are all pig based. So, thank you for that laugh. That's funny. Oink is perfect. I appreciate that. Oink Han. Okay, I can't even do it. Oink is perfect. Good. I'm glad. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but living in Oklahoma says Oink is cool. I wish pink wasn't the only color, but I have a couple of times felt like it's starting to get into a slight overload. So I am cognizant of that as well. I do like the making bacon thing. It just sounds cool. It sounds like it's like the alliteration of it. You can definitely make some fun Oink merch. I debated that. I actually thought it'd be fun to like have like little gadgets that I send to subscribers, but then I'm a grown man ordering pig merch. I don't know if that's the move. So that's where the name came from. We have 5 minutes left. I'll just leave it open to see. Live in Oklahoma girl here too. Hey, former Oklahoma boy here. A town called Sapulpa. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sapulpa. Your boy spent his. Hey, Ronit, what's up? My girl Ronit just hit me up over on IG. Mandar was here a little bit earlier, Callie. Or Ronit. I don't even know if he's still here or not. Sapulpa kid here. Spent a lot of time in Tulsa, etc. Been definitely making more bacon. That's good. That's what I'm hoping. At some point, I'm gonna get testimonials from people for this kind of stuff, and I'm gonna add them to the extension thing because I love this stuff. Somebody the other day ended up getting like 155 brand new campaigns the first time that they ran the thing, and I'm like, you're about to boom. Like I don't think you realize you accept 155 campaigns. Like you're going to make more money than you were this time last month. There's no way you're not going to make that with 100. So okay. First off, wait, hold on a minute. Where'd that go? 10 out of 10 on Notorious PIG. Love it. Love it when you call me big oinkers. Let's see here. Oh, Lane used to live in Tulsa. I know Sapulpa has the best Taco Bueno, if you're curious of it, of all the Taco Buenos. That's there was one there that burned down. It wasn't the same after, but the Sapulpa shoots. Oh yeah, I know Enid, right? The Baconator. My friend Ronit says, "What are you selling? What are you buying?" Hope, Ronit. I'm just I am. We'll chat afterwards. I'll tell you what I'm doing. It's hard to explain. And Ronit, I don't even know if you can see how many people are watching. I mean, on live on Instagram, it only shows 2, but I'm syncing up to the other things. So I don't think you can see the comments and things on the other channels, right? But I'll text you after this. A question to help set an expectation. What would you say is the average amount of views to get a sale? Oh man, that's a tough one. I currently have 35 videos on my influencer account in just under 2 weeks with 212 views. So here's what I would say. One, I wouldn't even pay attention to that. Because I think that if you get too caught up in the numbers right now, then you're going to slow down your progress. And there's really no way to gauge that because one, it's not just a matter of like sales. It's also a matter of like the video saturation, right? So if you're participating with products that are primarily oversaturated with other influencer videos, that's going to have an impact on your ability to be seen. I mean, you can have a product that's selling 50,000 units a month, but if there's 5,000 influencer videos waiting for a shot at the upper carousel, your video is never going to get seen and you're not going to make any money. That's not an indication of like your video. It's just because of the overall characteristics of the product. So at 35 videos on your influencer account, my gut is don't pay attention to any of the metrics. Just go forward with your stuff. Try to focus on products that are selling and products that have an upper carousel and hopefully are not oversaturated. Usually I target 3 or less videos, best case scenarios, no influencer videos up there. If you focus on those, the numbers will start lining up to a point where they make sense. Right now, you got such a small sample size that trying to read into anything you got right now, I don't think it's going to be very helpful. And hang out in the Facebook group. There's a bunch of people in there chatting about topics every day. You can pick up a lot from what they're talking about in there. Highly recommend it. And welcome, by the way. Let me see here. Taco Bueno, I haven't had in years. 3 bean burritos with sour cream. That was my jam. Back then, they were like 99 cents. They're probably more expensive, I imagine now. Can you add a filter to help search out products? For example, if I'm looking for a sunscreen, can you have a list of sunscreen that break even the fastest? Ooh, that's an interesting one. So basically, you're saying if you got a page full of products, implementing sort of like the break-even calculator on multiple products at once. Interesting. Let me think about that. That's tough. I'll talk about doing product research another day and why I have not pursued that necessarily within the extension as far as how some of the other extensions kind of do that. It's an interesting thought. It's actually a very intriguing thought to be able to try to use a calculator on multiple products at the same time. I like that. Oklahoma City, thunder up, baby. I left before the thunder were there. Aren't you worried about shutting down content for making content account for making content for CC accepted? The CC rule says you have to, although the link paste is so. Sports Spaz, they don't actually anymore. They've released a thing and says you don't have to have a link anymore. And they actually just updated that again just a couple of days ago, or just within the last 2 weeks. It says it not only do you not have to, that it doesn't have an impact on your ability to earn the additional commissions. If you're in the Facebook group, they posted that link to that not that long ago, that you can go and read it for yourself just in case. I know sometimes they get the verbiage mixed up. I think that actually on the campaigns themselves, it still has the old verbiage that says like you should have that on there. But the new stuff that they're putting out right now says that you don't, and it doesn't impact your ability to earn the additional commissions if there is no link. Hopefully that answers that question for you. Let's see. I just post everything you can and enjoy the surprise if something clicks. I love it. I was so discouraged before, and it was definitely perfect. Love that. Reason I'm asking is no sales. I think honestly with 35, I'm okay with that. I think that it's, especially if you're not necessarily targeting products that have a good like viability opportunity for converting. I'm okay with that particular where you're at right now. Come back whenever you got a like 200. Then if you're not seeing, then I think something's probably going on. But 35, it doesn't give me really any pause. You'll start seeing them squeaking a little bit is what's going to start to happen. And then you'll know you're on the right track. Just keeping an eye on my my Instagram, make sure. And I'm going to answer a couple more questions here, and then I'm going to bounce. I'm going to see if I can finish testing this new feature tonight that does the automated idealist creation for creator connection submissions. Let's see here. Like the start is all about laying the foundation. Always. You can't get to 10 until you get, I told my buddy Chris the other day, you can't get to 10. I didn't tell him, but I said it in reference to him. You got to do 1 before you can get to 10, right? I did that one already. Merch suggestion. Good. A pig face keychain that clicks when you press the nose. Tell you what, I'll see if I can come up, but then I got to ship stuff out. I don't know. Or maybe I'll put them up for sale. I don't know why anybody would want one, but let's see here. Do you offer one-on-ones? Yeah. If you go to the Facebook group, there's a link up at the top that you can set a time. I do it for like an hour. And you're not dominating the questions. That's what we're here for, man. All good. So that would be awesome. Awesome. Got to run. Yep. Thank you, Lane. Recent newbie, give yourself at least 6 months. That's it. Every once in a while, some people will catch it very early just because they luck into some products very quickly. I think right now, to be honest, to that point, the 6-month thing, the 200 videos, 300 videos, there's a foundational process that's just got to happen. One is to help you kind of learn your own processes and how to target certain products that convert. And over time, those numbers will start to tell you a story. Don't really worry about them as far as it guiding you one way or the other. Just use what they're saying and try to read between the lines and see then if you can use that information to get better at the thing that you're doing. But don't use it as like a metric for like success or lack thereof yet. 100% agree. Minimum 6 months, 200 videos. I appreciate it. Yep, you got it. You got it. Talkwinker is taking it. All right, perfect. Hey, this was a success. I got to test my StreamYard, and I think that it worked good. My Instagram people jumped in. I appreciate those people for jumping in. Things went really good here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up probably one that's not at nighttime, like during the daytime, unless you guys like it at nighttime better, but we'll do one probably during the day and set up like a once a week thing. It just makes it easier for talking to everybody and just staying in touch and hearing what you guys have kind of going on. So I guess that's it. So I have to do my intro. My name is Rob. I've been in the influencer program for 2 years. I'm just here sharing my tips, tricks, and advice. These are things I've learned along the way, both good and bad, to hopefully help you make you more money in the Amazon influencer program. So if that sounds good to you, like it's in your wheelhouse, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now. And usually I say something else about getting halfway through the video, but you're already past that. So hit subscribe. More videos will be on the way. And thank you, Facebook and YouTube fan, for jumping on. I'll schedule another one for another week. And let's earn some sports bet. Oh, what do you got? Can you send me a link? Because the office rules, I still said, yeah. Are you in the Facebook group sports spaz? Let me make sure. Let me get you a link here, just in case. Here you go. See if that'll take. There you go. That's the Facebook group if you're not already in there, and just search for it. It was literally like within like the last 2 days that somebody reposted the new TOS that's in there, and Amazon specifically for the influencer program saying that. So check that thing out. And if you have questions about it, drop it in the group and somebody will be glad to help you. Right. Thank you all very much. Let me take Lane's individual comment off here. Now I feel bad that I stuck it on Lane. There we go. Okay. Rob, the Oink Master General, signing off. Thanks, y'all. As always, peace out.